Greetings, everyone. This is Governor Herrera. I pray you and your family are doing well. I would like to inform you that to date, we have identified a total of 4 confirmed positive COVID-19 cases within the Pueblo. The first 3 cases were identified on May 26th, and the EOC has been working with the village officials to ensure the well-being of the 3 individuals. We ask that the privacy of these individuals are respected as they work through this difficult time. Negative comments from the community do not help the situation, and it makes the healing process complicated for those impacted and brings hardship to those around them. Instead, we ask for your understanding and well wishes for these individuals and support your village officials who are working to protect their community. Yesterday, the community was made aware of 1 additional confirmed positive case in our community. Unfortunately, this confirmed positive case was identified at the Laguna Rainbow Center on Saturday, May 30th in the evening. The Emergency Operations Center, EOC, Governor's Office, the village officials, and the Laguna Rainbow Center management have been in communication to ensure all residents and staff are protected and to ensure there are no additional cases at the center. We all know the Laguna Rainbow Center residents are our most vulnerable population to the virus that causes COVID-19. With that said, the health and well-being of the Laguna Rainbow Center residents and staff remain the Pueblo's top priority. So with that, I'd like to provide the community with information on what has occurred in the last 48 hours. The EOC and Laguna Rainbow Center management immediately began rapid testing and isolation of those who came in direct contact with the positive case, and through thorough sanitizing began. All 77 staff and employees of the Laguna Rainbow Center have been tested and will continue to be tested on a weekly basis. All 46 residents have been tested and will be monitored for any signs and symptoms. At this time, all LRC residents will remain quarantined at the facility in their individual rooms, and safety remains our highest priority. The EOC completed the decontamination of the Laguna Rainbow Center facility today, which was coordinated through the New Mexico EOC, the New Mexico State Department of Health, the New Mexico Aging and Long-Term Service Department, and the New Mexico EOC remains on call and in communication with our EOC team and Laguna Rainbow Center management if additional support is needed. All families of the residents who are listed as the primary guardian in the LRC system were contacted by LRC staff once the information was confirmed. The EOC began to open lines of communication with village officials, and the village officials began coordinating notices to households who would be impacted by this situation. Lastly, the EOC released an official announcement through the emergency notification system posted on the Pueblo of Laguna website and informed community via social media of the confirmed positive case. The EOC will always make sure that the information provided to our community is verified and confirmed, and they will continue to maintain the confidentiality and privacy of all patient information. And I'd ask that our community members do the same as well. The EOC and my office has received numerous calls and messages from community members. So I'd like to share with you what has been done thus far leading up to this situation. The EOC has assisted and will continue to assist the Laguna Rainbow Center with needed personal protective equipment, PPE. test-in and test kits to keep their staff and residents safe. The Laguna Rainbow Center management, staff, and employees have been consistent in being proactive related to resident safety since COVID-19 entered New Mexico and continue to adhere to the strict CDC guidelines for nursing homes and long-term care facilities. As you may or may not know, nursing homes are the highest regulated industry in the country, and as a result, they are heavily monitored and surveyed. The staff have created and implemented core practices for additional safety precautions for our residents at the Rainbow Center, and they continually work with the Department of Health and CDC to ensure compliance with existing and frequently increased regulations and guidance. In March, the center closed its facility to visitors, and this continues to remain in place. The LRC also offers families the opportunity to visit their loved one via FaceTime. Frequent testing of staff and residents began at the end of April, and each staff and employee has been tested about 4 to 5 times, and residents 2 to 3 times since then. Other precautions followed by staff include keeping all residents in their rooms and rotating outside time. All staff is required to be fully gowned and in PPE when interacting with residents, and all staff are required to be tested before entering the campus and are screened and have their shoes decontaminated in a bleach solution before they enter the facility. No staff or employee is allowed to enter the campus if signs or symptoms are apparent. I must commend our Laguna Rainbow Center staff and employees for working around the clock to maintain the safety of everyone at the facility and to keep the morale high under strict regulations and guidelines. Next, I'd like to review some frequently asked questions from community. Our first question is, I tried calling the Laguna Rainbow Center to check on my loved one, but my call wasn't answered or I wasn't given information. How is LRC or the Pueblo making sure we stay in communication? The LRC staff has been tasked to make sure the safety of all residents is highest priority. We recognize calls weren't able to be managed in a timely manner, so the Pueblo will be setting up direct line with staff personnel to manage communications. This phone line will allow LRC staff to direct attention to making sure the residents' well-being remains top priority and allow families to remain in contact with the facility. More information on this number will be provided to community shortly. Our next question, why was this announcement provided on social media? The EOC continues to make sure the community remains aware of cases and events that will have an impact to the Pueblo and its residents. The EOC has established several mediums for release of public information as follows. The Emergency Notification System, POL, COVID-19 website. The EOC PIOs will verify and confirm all information before releasing to the public. And our last question, is testing going to start in the villages? The EOC will be working to coordinate testing. Testing assists the Pueblo in a number of ways, but ultimately it identifies a baseline which helps to determine the overall health of the Pueblo. Testing is not mandatory, but is highly encouraged as many employers across the state may begin to make this a requirement for return to work status. In closing, again, just to emphasize and remind everyone that all the efforts we've undertaken are very essential and important. The virus COVID-19 virus was at our borders, and as this video is being communicated, it is now within our pueblo to the extent that we've communicated to you. So I ask everyone again to be mindful that take all the precautions and adhere to all that we implemented. Be respectful and be very serious about your decision making. Don't expose people, and especially don't expose yourself. We want to make sure that we are in a position to protect all of you. But it's going to take all of us, as I've expressed in previous videos, it's going to take all of us to be the ones to make the right choices and decisions to protect ourselves, protect our communities, especially our families. And with that, I just encourage everyone to be obedient and mindful to that. And with that, I wish everyone to be safe, be well, take precautions, and again, regards to our people, and let's try and get through this in a very positive way. Our best wishes and regards. Everyone be safe, take care, and be well. Thank you.